Cindy Hall is a freelance columnist and correspondent for the Spokesman Review and author of War Bonds, Love Stories from the Greatest Generation. The view from her porch is usually sunny.
When our neighborhood streets were torn up for gas line replacement, I learned a lot about patience. And the road crew working in front of my house learned a lot about me, probably more than was strictly necessary. I'm not at my best in the morning. I say this to explain why I inadvertently exposed a bit more of myself than I should have to the road crew working at the end of my street. It's not like I didn't know they were there. It's pretty hard to miss a porta potty parked next to your neighbor's house, or a backhoe idling across the street, or a guy with a jackhammer at the end of your driveway. But it was the crack of dawn on a Monday morning. Okay, it was 8 a.m., but I hadn't yet had my first cup of coffee. I went to the door to get the newspaper and discovered the delivery person's aim had been a bit off, and instead of tucked right next to the door, the newspaper was at the very edge of the porch. Squinting my eyes against the sun, I stumbled forward to pick up the paper. A breeze shifted the short summer nightgown I wore, the one I hadn't bothered to throw a robe over when I went to get the paper. Newspaper in hand, I straightened up. That's when I noticed the flagger at the end of my driveway. That's when I noticed the swarm of hard-hatted men across the street. The flagger slowly raised his hand to his hard hat in solemn salute, and then he grinned. I really wanted to stay in my house for the rest of the week, but that wasn't an option. So, keeping in mind the long, hard days, the crew's work, and the heat of the summer sun, I tried to be patient when navigating the neighborhood. I drove slowly and offered a wave or a friendly greeting when forced to wait for a backhoe to pass or a truck to rumble by. One day, the flagger at the end of the drive motioned for me to roll down my window. "Thanks for your smiles and friendly waves," he said. "You would not believe how many dirty looks and rude gestures we get." I'm sure his appreciation had nothing to do with the newspaper nightgown debacle. The noise and the inconvenience of the road work was unpleasant, but things could have been worse. We could have been the house that had the porta potty parked next to it for 2 weeks. And at least I wear a nightgown to bed. And that's the view, the totally fully clothed and respectable view from my front porch.